you're one of those guys who did the smart. You retired and you just retired.
Yes.
Which I respect so much. We were just talking about Marvin Hagler the other day. When Marvin Hagler retired, he's like, "Good night, take care, everybody." He lost a controversial decision to Sugar Ray Leonard. He said, "Take care, I'm gonna go do some movies," and that was it. He just never came back. And it's so rare that a fighter does that.
Well, you know what?
Marvin was disheartened like a motherfucker for boxing. He hated it.
Yeah.
Boxers go through so much, and it's like when they know when it's time. When a boxer says it's time to quit, they know it's time because they've gone through so much and they realize that it's a lot of hard work. For me, I've been boxing since I've been 15. So, in training, hundreds of hours training, hundreds of hours working out, resting, working on technique, sparring, all these different things. After a while, you have to reach that height where you say, okay, that's enough. And sometimes, people, managers and trainers and promoters, they don't want to tell the boxer that's enough because that's how much they're making money off of that boxer every time he steps in the ring.
Right.
So,
did you have a conversation with Emmanuel Stewart about it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And who made the decision? Did you guys make it together?
I made the decision. He wanted me actually to go on.
Really?
Yeah, because I wanted to. Tyson was my main nemesis, and he's a boxer that I definitely wanted to fight before I retired, and I didn't know if it was going to happen or not. So I actually stuck around for a couple more years for that fight to happen. Because I didn't want throughout history people would be saying, "Oh, Tyson would have won," or "Lewis would have won." I wanted them to know who.
Right.
And then after the Tyson fight, Manny said, "Listen, Klitschko's are around. That's the new generation. You can beat the guys from this generation and the guys from the next generation." I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. So he kind of talked me into doing that fight because I wasn't really going to do that fight. Mm-hmm. And then, that was a year after Tyson, and I didn't really want to box him straight away. I wanted to box somebody else because the main nemesis was Tyson. And once I beat Tyson, I could relax a little bit. I relaxed for a year, and then getting back into boxing, I boxed. Klitschko was my first fight, which was a mistake. I took the fight 17 days notice. At my worst, I beat him at his best.
Why was it such a short notice fight?
Because the opponent that I actually picked to fight didn't want to fight me. He actually said no.
Who was that supposed to be?
Johnson from.
Kirk Johnson.
Kirk Johnson
from Nova Scotia.
From Nova Scotia.
And you were doing him a favor.
I think Klitschko felt that he was doing him a favor. Listen, let me take the fight. I've been training for 2 years for this guy. I'm ready, and then we'll give you the first shot after I win. That's what was promised.
Vitaly had such a weird style, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and that's that kickboxing style coming into play a little bit because he would throw a punch and lean back like this, and that's the first time I've actually seen that style.
Yeah.
And if I didn't reach out with my right hand as far as I did, I would never have caught him with that cut. Mm-hmm. And it was that long right hand that caught him just at the end of my punch when he leaned back and he couldn't lean back anymore. That made his eye cut.
Yeah, he was a very strange fighter in terms of his style. Just the way hands were always down. It was a very weird way of moving, very unorthodox.
Yeah. Because he was such a big guy. He was 6'7".
Yeah.
He was probably the biggest guy you fought, right?
Yeah.
Could take a hell of a shot.
You never fought Gonzalez, did you?
Michael Grant was big. Gonzalez, I boxed him.
Jorge Luis Gonzalez? That was his name, right?
Yeah.
Cuban guy?
Yep.
They are. Look how weird the way he fights is. Just such an awkward way of moving.
He hit me good with the right hand.
Yeah.
So I held on. See me holding him around the neck? I learned that from Muhammad Ali. He said, if you hold a guy around the neck, you can tell when he's going to move.
Wow.
But he was good in the first few rounds. After the first 3 rounds, what people don't realize about this fight, I wasn't fighting for 12 rounds. I was fighting to knock this guy out.
Because you had it in your mind.
Yeah. This is the first time you ever see me going forward in the fight. Mm-hmm. This guy's bigger than me. I'm coming forward. And I'm throwing punches. He's catching me. But those were the early rounds.
Although he's 2 inches taller than you, you look bigger than him.
He's a big fella.
Physically.
Yeah, you're wider. You know, when you look back on your career, like, do you have like a most satisfying victory?
Yeah.
What is it?
I seen Rocky.
I was gonna say the rematch.
The first
Yeah.
or the second?
The second one, motherfucker. Jesus Christ.
You Wally.
When a guy beats you like that, and then you know you could have beaten him or you should have beaten him, is that what bothered you so much?
No, you know what really bothered me is the fact that I gave him an opportunity. I gave him a fight when I'm basically waiting for Tyson, and I have to keep busy. I'm looking down the list of who to fight. He's number 7. I realized that he's durable. He's not one of these guys that get knocked out easy. So I wanted to give my fans, a proper fight. Box the best guy out there, not box the easy guy that's easy to get knocked out. I don't want to go home in 2 rounds. So, and then another reason, a lot of people don't know, I went to Africa to fight because Muhammad Ali went to Africa. He fought in Africa. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to fight in Africa. I say, I'm a world champion, so I need to fight all around the world. So that's what made me go to Africa. The only thing about Africa is I didn't know that it was such a high altitude up there. And for me to have a fight, I should have got there a lot earlier, but I was doing Ocean's 11 at that time. People said, oh, you were doing a movie. I wasn't doing no movie. I was sitting around half the time waiting for them to change the lights, then go out there for 2 minutes and then go back and sit there for another 2 hours while they change the lights. So
were you training at all when that was happening?
yeah, I was training, but it wasn't the conditions of training. I needed a bag, I needed sparring partners, I needed to be up there a lot sooner.
So you just kind of exercised?
Yes.
How many thousand feet was it above sea level?
Higher than Big Bear.
It was Cape Town, right?
So more than 6?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because when I started working out, I was like throwing punches, then I found myself going, so I had to take 2 steps back. I'm like, oh no, don't tell me this fight's gonna be one of those fights where I have to take my time. So I basically went out there taking my time. I realized he's dealing with the same thing I'm dealing with, although he was there a lot earlier. But I had a couple things going wrong, boxing at 4 in the morning. They couldn't find a big enough ring. Then when they put the ring together, it was like 18 by 19. So, and then the punch that actually hit me, I actually thought I was gonna block it, but it came around this side. I put my hand up to block it, but it came around, hit me. One of those things where a man threw a terrific punch, which my chin happened to be in the way of.
What is it like when that's over? You're sitting there and you know you lost, but you know that under the right circumstances, this guy is not at your level.
In fact, my problem was solved before I got out the ring. I knew what I did wrong, which was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It's like, on another day, he wouldn't throw a lucky punch like that. He wouldn't hit me, and he wouldn't have a ref that, was on his side as well.
How was the ref on his side?
When I say the ref's on his side,
He called it a little early.
I got knocked down in the second round. I'm the champion.
Right.
At least give me a chance. Not wave the fight straight away.
Right.
You seen the Deontay Tyson Fury fight. If that was the ref, he would have counted him out straight away.
Yeah, that's
I would have stopped it at the press conference.
That fucking 12th round, that right left that Deontay landed. The fact that Tyson got up and then won the remainder of the round, that is crazy.
Yeah.
I am so frustrated that fight's not happening again.
Man, I'm looking at the heavyweight scene and I'm looking at obviously Joshua from England, and he had the opportunity to fight Deontay and didn't take it. I'm like, if that was me, I would have took that chance because you never know what happens down the road, like what's happening now. And to me, he's being put on the shelf. Now he has to box somebody that nobody really wants him to box.
Who's he fighting next?
Baby Miller.
Oh, Big Baby Miller?
Big Baby Miller.
Yeah.
Big Baby Miller, I haven't seen too much of him.